Hello everyone, this is Refrench Your Brain, a special two-session edition of this evening. This session starts now and I'm going right now to check on YouTube if I am live and then on LinkedIn. So how are you feeling everyone? I'm really happy to see any of you joining. We are live on YouTube and I'm just checking if there is the sound right now. Yes, there is a sound on YouTube. And then I'm going also to check on LinkedIn. And we have two special guests. I was thinking the first guest right now and the second guest in 2 hours, but it seems like I was messing up with the time zones. So we have the two guests uh, on this first session, and the second session will be open to anyone. The first session is also open to anyone, by the way, also. So I'm going just to check on LinkedIn if I am live. Welcome, welcome, everyone. And this is me showing live. And I am live on LinkedIn. Hopefully, yes. Yes. So we are live on LinkedIn and we are live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, everyone. And my two guests will join in a bit. So this is Refrench Your Brain, and as you see, I'm still on my Christmas vibes. That it will probably last in few days, because last year I was wearing this jumper sweater until mid February. I'm not going to wait until mid February to remove it, but it's amazing to be still having the vibe season, like whoa whoa whoa. But we are already in 2025, 2025, and I'm going to be amazingly starting this day. So refresh your brain marathon, because there is two special sessions today instead of one. And should I have known it will be only one session, but it is what it is. So I'm really happy to make it the second one in 2 hours. But the first one will be for any guest. And if you check the event page, you will have the link of the stream you have. And at the same time, I'm happy to bring right now the link so that you will be able to join on stage if you would like to join the stage. So here is the link on YouTube right now, the link of free stream on YouTube. And here is the link also on LinkedIn so that you can join also the stage. As we say in French, plus on est de fous, plus on rit. More we are crazy, more we laugh. But of course, we can be serious at the same time. So bear with me, I'm just checking. And let me say to you, bienvenue and bonjour, which are the two French words. And I'm just going to check some things, but I'm really happy to begin and to start 2025 with amazing nuggets in French and in languages, by the way, because I love languages. I can say hello and thank you in 40 plus languages. And I speak French, English, Italian, and Dutch. And the reason I place Dutch at last is not mijn lievelingstaal. It's I do my best to speak it, although it was not probably fancy when I was learning it at school. But now I'm really happy now in 2025 to learn Spanish. Oh, so I'm going to check again to see if it's going to work for my first guest so that she can join. So how are you feeling? Feel free to comment on YouTube or LinkedIn. Maybe I was not putting the right link, but I'm going to test again. So that's it. So let me know how are you feeling in the comments. I placed the link also on the restream so that anyone in the audience can join, whether you are in LinkedIn or in YouTube. You are welcome. And so feel free to join the stage at any time and also to comment. Your presence is welcome. And I see already my guest joining. My first guest. Woo, woo, woo. Coach K. Yee.
I'm happy to hear you're feeling better.
I'm really happy because, in fact, it's there is an expression in Dutch that I was not planning to use, but it's twee vliegen in één klap. And in English, literally, it's two flies in one clap. So that I have the blessing not to clap you, but to applaud you, because at the end we will be three instead of two at least, because Firdaoussi will join us at some point if she can manage to find the proper link. Probably I was messing up the link, but no. How are you feeling, dear Coach K or Kimberly or Dr. K, or I don't know how to properly name you,
Coach K is fine. I'm doing
or
good.
Mrs.
I'm feeling.
Wells?
Nope,
Okay,
just Coach
cool.
K.
Coach K, amazing. So first, I'm really happy to give you the visibility. Enfin, no, here the visibility. So let me know who are you and what is your mission on Earth.
Okay. Um, so I'm Coach K. I am a lot. Coach. I would like to say that I'm a coach, but more than a coach, I of Co-Red Capital. I Co-Red Capital is an international management company that actually we help businesses manage their integrity to increase their profits. I also work with the Ultimate Butterfly of Co-Red Management, and we are right now trying to infuse people with more integrity as well as creative. And so finding creative ways to learn, starting with adults and children. And then we're scaling back up to business because no business can be in good profit with long-term sustainability without integrity. And so we want to go work on the small things with people as we work our way back up to big business. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Was on mute. I
Okay,
need
there you go.
to with joy. So and now we have the amazing presence of Firdaoussi. Welcome, Firdaoussi.
Hello, thank you.
Yay! How are you
Hi,
feeling today?
I'm good, thank you. What about you? Happy New
Um,
Year! All the best.
yeah, happy New Year! Amazing, amazing. It's such a blessing to see both of you together because I'm sure that there are connections that could be made because you are probably having the same mission, no? So, what is your mission, Firdaoussi?
My mission is really to popularize negotiation because for me, I've been negotiating like for 17 years now, contracts for corporate French companies and worldwide companies. And for me now, my mission is just not only to just negotiate contracts for companies, but for me, I would like to popularize negotiation, so to make sure that everyone has or learn the skills of negotiation. Because for me, everything in life is about negotiation. You negotiate with your family, in your relationships, you negotiate your salary, your job, everything you do is around negotiation. So that is really my mission from now on, is to make sure that everyone learn and enjoy to use the skills of negotiation on a daily basis.
Wow, that's amazing. That's something that I need to tap on because negotiation is really my one of my weakest link. And because as maybe both of you know, I am a people pleaser. So for me, negotiation is okay. For you, it's for free. Okay, and no, and I need now to bring money in my table also. So nothing is for
Mm,
free anymore. Or really, what could I receive in exchange for my free stuff? Because it's
mm,
about if it's not about bring me money, it's about what could you do to have the value that is equivalent. And so that's the challenge if it's not about monetary. And of
Yeah.
course, by the way, for negotiation, I was also 2 years ago. I was tapping into the wisdom of another person that I also recommend you to collaborate and to connect with, because we are not competing; we are completing. We don't compete;
No,
we
that's
complete.
the thing. And that's for me, negotiation is all about collaboration. And I
Mm,
know that people, and it's like it's out there. Most people think that negotiation is about manipulation and there is a winner and a loser. But my approach is really a collaborative one. So it's like a win-win situation. And I just want to just also to enhance what you just said. Negotiation, it's not about money. When you are talking about money, that's not negotiation. For me, that's like you are bargaining. But for me, you have before bargaining, you have to negotiate some contract terms. And that's why I always say contract, because you have some terms that you need to make sure that you both are aligned. So what do you want? How do you want it? What kind of quality? There is just so much. And for me, the price is like it's really at the end. And at the end, you don't even talk about it. It's just like, how can we do business together? That's really my approach, and that's how I do that. Because for me, when you it's not like you are in the market, you are like bargaining. Yeah, do I want 12 euros? No, I want 10, I want 5. That can be your plan, you can do that, but for me it's not about that. That's really not how I see negotiation. That's why I say that it's really like it's a daily basis thing. You negotiate your relationships, who you are spending time with, how are you managing your energy, all of that. It's really price is just like a small and tiny thing, but it's just like there is just a whole world that people don't know, and that's really why I'm here, and that's what I want to do in life.
Thank you. And just I'm going to spotlight someone to connect with and to discover. Nora Rahimian from the US. She is so amazing. They are so amazing. I know I have to adjust about my pronouns. So they are so amazing. And I know them since 2 to 3 years through Creative Mornings. And so that's about the power of connections and about people. So thank you, Nora. And thank you, Firdaoussi, for also sharing your passion, because I think each of us could have a richness. So, Firdaoussi, you are still there for 15 minutes, I think, because you told me that your agenda tomorrow is quite full and you need also to rest. So you are still here for 15 minutes. 15. And you, Coach K, how much time do you plan to be in this session?
um, I can be here until 45 after, so I can give you about 30 minutes, 30
Okay,
40.
cool. Okay, cool. So then, if you allow priority to Firdaoussi, if you like, so that she can leave in 15 minutes. And
Absolutely.
Me
yeah,
too.
so
And I just
Firdaoussi,
want to say, I like what I wanted to tell her. I love what you do, because when I heard you speaking, when I think of negotiation, I just think of communication. Like everything you were saying is really about communicating and collaborating, and I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
mm,
Yeah, and it's really is about that. At the end of the day, it's a communication. That's it. So you
Yep.
really got it. So thank you.
yeah, and about communication, there is also the language. And the most difficult language that I had to learn during my life was not Dutch or German or any language that you might know. The most difficult language that I had to learn is the language of my heart, boom, 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 and the language of my body, because I was probably 40 years in there and I had
Mm-hmm.
to say, oh, there is also the body up down. So I had to also learn to communicate and talk my body language and talk my heart language. But aside that, which languages do you speak, Firdaoussi?
So are you talking about the language like the language I speak? Because you were talking about the body language. So, but for me, and maybe I'm just doing out as well. I would love to just say something about what you just said as well, because this is really important and something that I also for me when I also like talk about negotiation, it's real. There is also like the body language. There is also like a part that is for me I call like emotional intelligence, and for me that's the core as well, because people, and we know that there is a lot of studies that have been showing that um I think, I don't know, maybe 20% of our communication is just the verbal part, but 80% of that is like the non-verbal one, so the body language, what people are not saying, what is really for me, it's like, you can see, just visualize an iceberg. You have the part that you can see, but there is just the whole like level just down there that you don't see. And for me, that's also the key. And for me, also my method is really built around that. So I just wanted to enhance that. And the languages I do speak, so I speak French. If this was your, is that what you wanted to know?
Well, in fact, all the languages, because I value all the languages. So I wonder
Okay.
if,
So yeah,
aside,
I speak the language of the body as well, as I just said. I also, for me, it's like I'm really connected as well around the energetics as well. So that's a language. Yeah, and then there is like, there's just so many, as we are complex as human beings. There is just like this emotional part of us, like the psychological and the mental part of us, and there is what we can just feel, what we just don't know, but we can feel it as well. So for me, these are also like part of language and communication, and I do speak that too. Or I'm aware of that, and also like I'm a work in progress, but I'm more learning to master all of that. And for me, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, learning to master the energetics. That's for me. That's like, and that's something I'm really passionate about. And so, if we can speak to just, if we are going to speak down to earth, so I speak French, I speak English, I also speak like my native language, which is Comorian. So I can read and write Arabic. I've learned German, but I've never spoken it. So I've never practiced it. So, but I can like understand just a bit. And I think that's it. I can understand also some words around Swahili as well. And I think that's it. When I was young, I used also to understand like the language of the people who live in Madagascar as well. But I've never spoken so these languages as well. So I've forgotten. But I used to understand. I couldn't speak it, but I could understand it. That's all for me, I think.
it's already a lot. It's already amazing. It's I don't recall the language because probably there are more than a language there, but was Malagasy, I think,
I
but
don't
I'm
know
not
how
sure.
they call it. I know
Yeah.
how we say it in French, so c'est le malgache, but in
Ah oui, le
English,
malgache, voilà, c'est ça, exact. Tout à
yeah.
fait, exact. Yeah, and so that's already incredible. And so what about you, Coach K?
Okay, sorry. I turned
All is fine.
my camera off because it's my lunchtime.
Yeah, bon appétit. Bon appétit. It's okay.
But
You
Enjoy
can
your
even say,
lunch.
I only speak English as of right now. When I was younger, I did take a little bit of French, a little bit of German, and I also took 4 years of Spanish. So I
Mhm.
understand more Spanish than anything. I only know a few words in French,
Okay.
a little bit in German as well. Um, but English is my primary language. I'm not fluent in Spanish because when I took it, I didn't have anyone to speak it with. So the data is still there from what I learned in my mental. And now that I live in Texas, I have more opportunities to speak it again. But I'm very interested in not just learning new languages right now, but showing people that you're never too learn. No, I'm sorry, you're never too old to learn.
So true.
Yes,
So I'm very
exactly.
excited to be here with you guys.
Exactly, because during my new language coaching sessions, I realized that it's never to learn to it's never too late to learn. The only thing is that we reap what we sow. So if we think that we are not going to learn, guess what? We are not going to learn. It's like whoever thinks A will be A will have A, and whoever thinks B will have B. And it's about to realize that we can still learn. Of course, our capacity to learn at 40, 60, and 80 will be not the same as the capacity to learn at 0 or 20, but we can still learn because it's about neuroplasticity, and neuroplasticity doesn't end at 40 or 60. It can be nurtured. It's a muscle, so it's about nurturing it.
Mm.
And yeah, so what I like also is I was thinking 2 to 3 years ago, before beginning my new language adventure, that there are some spaces that are dedicated to specific languages in the brain. But I
Okay.
realized it all is intertwined, and that's incredible, because it means that if we can hook two words in two different languages that are the same, then it just to remember the native word, and then we might catch the target language word. And
Okay.
it's like using, by instance, for me, I'm going also to explore the body. Like if I say hi, 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 low, 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 of course, because it's English. But if I say oh, 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 ba, 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 then if I do that, oh, oh, oh. And if I do that,
Hi, hi, hi.
ba, ba,
Are
ba.
you? Do you want us to say it because you have to be specific with
Yeah,
me?
yeah. It's a
Okay, I
flop. It's a
didn't get
flop, but
it.
it's okay.
Sorry.
I tried. At least I tried. So it doesn't work right now, but I tried. So it's just to mimic the if I say like this, les yeux, and I
Mm-hmm.
point this, then you will remember, because you can hook my gesture and the word that I'm trying to teach. So
Mm.
I'm also exploring that. And it's at some point in the 80s and 90s or 2000, we said at school that we have absolutely to immerse ourselves in the target language, and that we have to avoid the native language. But I think the most important is to be immersed, but also to have something to hook. That's what I call scaffolding. Because if the brain doesn't have a hook, it couldn't really grasp what we learn. And that's why, if we don't use a language equivalent, at least if we can bring the movement like oreille or bush, or these kind of things, then we can remember when we are making the gesture.
Mm.
A- And so, what I would like also to explore, for you first, Firdaoussi, and then for you, Coach K, is how do you feel when you have to show confidence and you are speaking a foreign language? Because you are in external territories, you are not in your native language. So it might be different when you are trying to negotiate or to teach in a foreign language.
Mm. For me, if I have to reply to that, it's what I think, and in my experience, it's like when I'm speaking like a foreign language, for example, English. I know English is like, for me, it's like a quite like simple language compared, for example, to French. But for me, when I'm speaking like a foreign language, because I don't have, all the I don't know, other things that just easier for me. I feel like when I'm speaking in like a language that is not mine, I tend to be like more honest because I just go straight to the point, because I don't have time to bullshit or to say, yeah, I just really go straight to the point. And it's like, for me, I find it like really interesting, because sometimes as I observe myself, I feel like I'm really like, he's gone, I think. I think there have been some technical issue. So
Well,
I'm
he's
gonna
the
wait.
one streaming. He has to, maybe
Yeah,
his
so we are
camera went.
here on his account, but he's not here. So yeah. So we have some technical problem. We will wait until Oli come back.
No worries. I was trying to go live while we were on to help the streams, but I don't know what I'm doing.
You were trying to use this link or another one?
No, so I had my other phone because I'm on talking to you guys on the laptop, and so I just had my phone
Oh, okay.
sitting where I could prop it up to the live so people would know what I was doing. But I feel outdated right now. I feel very outdated trying to
Yeah,
use
me
my phone.
too. Especially with LinkedIn, because like for apps, like for example, for me, Instagram, I find it really easy. When you go live, and it's just, but LinkedIn, it's just like there are just some
Well,
technical backstage you have to make sure that you have in
I
order
was
to
live
enter.
on LinkedIn. I did it. I wrote into LinkedIn, but most of my people on LinkedIn, I believe, may be at work. But I know more entrepreneurs on Facebook instead of trying to go live on LinkedIn, because that would be such a process. I was
Okay.
just gonna like maybe go live on Facebook and allow people to listen to us speak. That
Mm,
way, they could go find your names, but it's not actually showing the screen or anything.
okay.
This way people could kind of get a taste of what it is that we're doing, and hear the power of collaboration. What country are you in?
I'm in France.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
you're in France, Ollie's in Belgium, and I'm in the US.
Okay, yeah.
And so,
Worldwide.
yeah. And so I thought it would be so cool for people to be able to listen in. I just don't know how to go live, apparently, on Facebook. That's so
Yeah.
weird.
I
I
think
thought that would be the easiest one.
why don't you try maybe with your laptop, because I think with the restream you can connect if you I think if you have the upgraded like a version, you can you can put all your other social, and then when
Hmm.
you go live you can be live on all the platforms. But if you have like the upgraded version.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I don't have it. This is my first time being on WeStream. Ali
Okay.
introduced me to it.
Okay.
So before this moment, I had never heard, well, I heard of it last week when he told me that this is where we would be coming live from,
Mm-hmm.
but I had not had the experience before now. And so
Okay.
I use StreamYard quite a bit.
No, okay. Me. I think I'm like you as well. It's first time, and but I thought that with Streamyard, with LinkedIn, I think they had been some upgrades as well, and it's for me that it wasn't been working like for the past month, and I,
Mhm.
I think Restream is better and easier, but
I
I've been
haven't
trying it.
I haven't done. This is my first time logging in, and so I'll be able to see it a little bit more and get familiar with it to decide which one. I've done. I've done Streamyard the last couple times, and then Ollie also introduced me to Go Brunch, and
Okay.
so learning how to integrate that is going to be a new thing as well. Welcome back to your show,
Yeah, we lost you for a moment.
Well, I was a bit struggling with my Wi-Fi, so I decided to switch to my data because I gotta be with you. So I will watch the replay for your replies. I don't want you to reply twice.
But
Yes.
I didn't, when I saw that you were like gone, I stopped
Okay.
talking and we were just
Okay.
talking
So
about
that
risk
apologize
management.
everyone. So feel free to reply, Firdaoussi.
Okay. What did you say?
Well, it was about when you are using a foreign language,
Yeah.
uh, and your confidence, your easiness to do what you do not natively in French in your native language or Comorian.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I said. So for me, it's like, yeah, I find it like very, like, it's easy, and I feel like I'm really like connected to myself because I just really go straight to the point, because it's not like a language that it's not like my native one, and I find it sometimes really quite simple, and it's just like it's easy, and I don't have problem like speaking in English or in French. For me, I have the same confidence. And also for me, English, I consider it's not my native language, but for me it's like, it's because I've been learning English since I was, I think, 13 or 14 years old by myself. But for me, it's like it's also my native language because I love this language so much, and it's just even me on my day-to-day life. They are just sometimes I have the words in English, I have everything in English, and sometimes I'm struggling finding the words in French. So for me, um it's not like it's not a native language, but of course I find it like very, very easy and simple for me to express myself in English sometimes, and vice versa. Sometimes the things just came easier in French, and it's more natural as well, and more raw. But yeah, that's how I feel. Does it make sense? We can hear you, Oli.
You got mute.
Yes, I'm dealing with technology right now. Um, yes, it makes sense for me. It was like just for me when
We can hear you.
I think you might be on mute. We heard you before.
yeah, I try to click one, two, three times and then it mutes and yeah. So now it's okay, I think.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I was saying that yeah, super. I was saying that when I speak Italian, as it's not my native language, at some point I lose confidence when the level is too high, or when I cannot really find my words. So that's my challenge. For instance, I wouldn't be able to negotiate in Italian rather than in French,
Okay.
because in Italian my level is low,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will really I will be really be in doubt mode more than in confidence mode when I speak Italian, because it's a language I don't master, and even master, it's a word. It's not a destination. It's a muscle. I'm mastering it. I don't master it. I think even French, I speak probably 80% of French,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not an ambulant dictionary, or and that's it. And so I would like to also to acknowledge, wow, in YouTube, the language I love most is music. For me, it is international and reaches every language. So
So,
true.
so
The
well
lang-
said.
the Yeah, yeah. And he said also, yeah, okay, thank you so much for joining. And so now I ask the same question to Coach K. Imagine that you are teaching in Spanish. How will you feel if you are teaching in Spanish?
Uh I mean, if I had to teach a whole class in Spanish, I'm sure I would feel uncomfortable. But I actually do teach first generation children. Like today and on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I teach at a local school. So when we finish, I go back to school today. And most of my children are first generation, some are non English speakers. And so I feel confident because there's always ways. Well, I'll start off number one by telling them that I don't speak much. I always start off saying I only speak poquito Espanol. And so I use translators a lot. I use people as translators as well as devices to make sure that I can convey the message that needs to get across. Lucky for me, my language that I speak or teach primarily is the art of photography, using photography and videography. It tends to be something that's international. Most people can understand that. But when I travel to primarily Spanish speaking countries, I learn a lot of key phrases that allow me to get my transactions done. And most people work with me. And so I'm pretty confident with it because they could automatically tell that I'm American. And then once I tell them that I only speak a little, most people have the empathy to want to still earn my business and work with me. So I don't lose confidence in the process.
Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go.
It was nice spending time with
Yeah,
you.
Thank you
it
for
was
honoring
nice,
your
but also
boundaries.
like getting to know you and spend this time with you. So thank you very much, and see you next time then. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Oli, as well for like organizing all of this. Have a nice day, and
Thank you. I'm
Oli, have
really
a nice
happy to
evening.
connect.
What did
Yeah,
you?
thank you, Firdaoussi. Happy to connect you with Coach K.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
I look forward to
Bye.
connecting. Bye bye.
Sayonara. Bye.
Bye. Now I have to learn how to get out of this.
Top right corner.
Close
Okay, yeah,
tab.
I found it. Thank you. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye. Technically, Ali, is it salut to say goodbye in French?
Yes, in fact, you can say it to say hello and goodbye. It's like
Bonjour.
in Italian, ciao.
Hmm.
Yeah, like ciao in Italian, you can say it for hello and goodbye, and salut could be also for hello and goodbye.
I think that especially if you're going to have other people coming on that already speak primary languages, it would be cool to learn like key phrases so that the people that are watching, we can learn, how to say hello, goodbye, have a nice day, like little tiny little tidbits. That way we can like, oh, what is au revoir?
Au revoir, it's goodbye.
Okay. So I would have loved to. I wasn't sure. So I guess technically now my French is very. How do you say little?
Petit.
Petite.
Voilà,
It's
little is petit.
it's more petite than my poquito Espanol.
Ah.
But I would
Ah,
have loved to tell her au revoir since I know that French is her primary language.
yeah, but
So we make
then
some fun little adjustments.
you can also compare to English like see you again or re-see you, like re-see, to re-see someone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's revedere in Latin or Italian, and so and it's really amazing because it could be linked to revision because it's
Mm,
the vision, and so to see again. So au revoir, it's to see you again.
that's a good one. I couldn't restream because I don't have the upgraded version of Restream. And
Mhm.
so I went to my Facebook and just went live on my phone while we're on the
Mhm.
computer so that
Mhm.
people could kind of see what we're doing here. But in the future, I definitely love to like restream it out so that we can capture more audience and but this is our first one,
Of
so I'm
course.
still excited.
Yeah, I'm also excited because it's the beginning of the year, and I'm really this time I would like to challenge myself more to befriend my nervous system also, and to allow the energy of receiving. And that's
Yeah.
why I decided to play full on Go Brunch. I have a paid membership that allows me to create rooms and to create different experiences that I'm going to create. Imagine the room where you are the hero. I don't know if there is the translation in English, but in French, le livre dont vous êtes le héros. That's a book where
Mm-hmm.
a child is opening, and
Mm-hmm.
it does the child is not reading from page 1 to page 100. The
Mm-hmm.
child is opening like number 1, and at number 1, if you want to go left, go to 47. If
Oh,
you want
I
to go
love
right,
those.
yeah. And so I could imagine that with probably 20, 30 different rooms. And so at a specific room, the person has to fight a monster, and there is a dice that is physically present. He click the button, he have the dice, he have to calculate himself, and if of course people can trick, probably, but or not, but using the dice, he can have like, how much XP do I have? So
Mm-hmm.
I can try to see if I can do that with a link to a Google Sheet that could be updated automatically with the number
Mm-hmm.
of XP, HP, etc. The item that the person has, and I'm really happy to try that, because it could be also the French where you are the hero, and learning French during these rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be amazing, like fighting with D'Artagnan, the three musketeers. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it will be really fun. I'm going to explore that,
I'm open to that.
because there is also in Go Brunch a session, an event that's called the waffle. They are showcasing rooms. And a few hours ago, 2 hours ago, I was seeing some people making demos, and was like, even was even not imagining seeing that possible. It was a kind of a curling demo. Probably he was using an external thing, putting on an iframe, and then clicking a button. You can see the curling going in the center, and it was like amazing. You know, the possibilities that you can create. You can create animations in rooms. You can click to pictures, buttons. It's really the possibilities are infinite, and it's even more than Zoom. It's even better than Zoom, I think, because you can
Are you
customize it.
are you speaking of Go Brunch?
Yes, exactly.
I liked it. I liked Go Brunch a lot. I enjoyed when you told me about it. I feel like I spent the day just clicking on different things and creating different things. I'm excited to teach my class in there. I think I will probably use Go Brunch as my primary platform when I am doing virtual classes, just because of the aesthetics and the creation of atmosphere. I think is beautiful.
Yes, and that you can customize everything. In fact, you can lock, unlock, you can allow people to show or not their camera, or you can have many amazing settings out there and create experience. For instance, you can have a 60-minute session, and each 15 minutes, like a fourth of the session, you can go into a room, and then next go to the next room, and you guide them to various rooms, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like it is. But I mean, I played with it. I went through that the thing you sent me where I could go into other people's like business and rooms and more rooms, and I'm just like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, and I loved it because it's also community behind. I've seen 20 people 2 hours ago, and some showcasing their space, and some were really intentional and really vibrant. You know, imagine a room that you can dedicate for people that were beloved. To like, I can create a room just for myself with the picture of my mom, and take the space, the atmosphere myself into this room, and having some music, and that's really the atmosphere. It's not only the space, but also the intention and the people that you can connect and that can elevate each other. There are, for instance, RJ, who has created a PDF, 87 ways to earn money through Go Brunch, and that I'm
Oh,
going to explore. Yeah,
that sounds nice. That sounds
yeah.
really nice.
Because ultimately I am creating this space not only for free but also with the intention to bring money, whether it's about paid services or donation based things like it's for free but feel free to donate, these kind of
Yeah.
things. And so
Well,
it's
I'm in the middle of launching my community, and it's like a lot of things that I've been really gun ho about since the last time we spoke is just putting out more content, creating more content, and then learning and teaching ways to monetize it, because we do so many. Well, at one point we were doing so many audios just for free on LinkedIn, on the LinkedIn platform, to the point where I recorded a good portion of mine, and I'm hoping to convert them over to podcasts, just like $1 subscription podcasts. And so that's one way to make
mm,
money off the audio rooms. But then when you're doing in on here on Go Brunch, you can double it up as content to feed back into your monetized platform, as well as put your donation links in the link of, the description for the other platforms.
mm,
Like, I'm excited to learn the different ways of monetization and to share it with other people. It's gonna be
mm.
exciting.
Yes, so as I yeah, me too. So as I heard that you have still few
Hmm.
minutes left and then you are going to leave, let me know because I'm going also to continue
Hmm.
my session. And let me know what you would like to learn about French.
I think with French, I like to learn like key phrases. In fact, the class I have today at 1:30, when I go back to have fourth graders, and at least four of them speak French. And so I think I should learn a phrase. Oh, what about how was your break? How do you say how was your break?
Um, Comment était ta
Comment
pause?
était tes pauses?
I would
Did
say
I say
like
that
that.
right?
Wait, your break is
Ta
ta
pause.
pause. Or ta pause midi to say your noon
How do you say
break.
how's your day?
Comment
Comment
c'était
c'était?
aujourd'hui?
Oh my
Aujourd'hui.
goodness. Okay, do it again.
I know it's a complex word. There is a in one word, and then there is a D apostrophe HUI. I can type it in the
Okay.
private chat so that you can see. It's a word that is written like that.
Okay. Adore, oh my goodness. Adore, hado. Am I saying that
Au
right? Aujourd'hui.
aujourd'hui. Voilà, well done. And it's really amazing because it sounds like pleonasm because HUI it's an ancient French that
Mhm.
says today. Jour it's today, the day, and O is like on this. So it's really it's a tricky word. But if you want to avoid to say aujourd'hui, you can say
Maintenant.
maintenant. Voilà, which is really right now.
Maintenant. Is that like Harry? Ado
Voilà,
maintenant.
maintenant. Voilà. Uh, you say just
Maintenant.
maintenant. Voilà. And main is
Ma.
this, the hand, and tenant it's to hold, tenir, tenere. It's to
Okay.
hold.
Maintenant. How do you say
Voilà.
quiet?
And it's no quiet
Like
to
silence,
be
like to
with
request
silence. No.
silence.
Ah, how do I say? Because there are multiple ways to say, but
That's
the harshest way is to say
the
silence.
quickest, shortest way.
Um, then you can say silence, please. Silence,
Sinon,
s'il vous
s'il vous
plaît.
plaît.
Because if you say silence, it's quite a bit like harsh, like
I'm okay with that. That means be quiet right now, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, or yeah, yeah,
It's like
silence.
in Spanish, it's silencio. And so that means silent, like
Yeah,
now, silent, rápido.
that's it. That's it. But usually I will say with more fluid, like
S'il
s'il
vous
vous plaît,
plaît.
or and there is also the if you are going to request, you can say pourriez-vous.
Kuvu, say it again.
Pourriez-vous.
Kuvu.
Voilà. It's could you. It's the same like between silence and between could you
Please.
be quiet. So it's like a more easy way because else it could be. And so pourriez-vous, it's an invitation and not an obligation.
Nice. Hey, Webby, welcome back. This is my French lesson. Ali Wave. I'm showing my friends on Facebook who you are.
Ah, yeah, cool. So I'm really happy to help anyone to learn and improve French. And this is my passion because of my French teacher. And I'm going to explain that in my podcast that will air on the 12th of January. I was a bit like late in doing that, but this Sunday, 12th January, I will make the episode zero, telling about what could you expect in my podcast and what is my story, and
what
that will
platform?
be amazing. And then after
What
that,
platform? Like,
yeah.
where can they find the podcast? What platform are you going to have it on?
Well, I don't have any idea. I had for my previous podcast, but I'm not sure right now. So I'm going to investigate which one I'm
Look
going to
into
choose.
Spotify. I was just looking
Um,
at I actually just got something from
yeah.
Spotify recently. Monetization for
Mm.
Spotify creators. And so
Mm.
that's one that came to me.
Mm.
I had it set up for last year. And there's one called Podbean where you could actually pay
Ah,
$100
yeah.
and it'll help you get to Spotify as well as on Apple, the Apple Store, I want to say. And so there's a few, but
Mm.
starting off, I know for sure that Spotify has a subscriber monetization through Patreon, where your podcast can be found on Spotify or Patreon, depending on your paid memberships.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to investigate also the monetization, like making a free podcast, but having a link if you want to have more. Then there is the other part of the podcast, or there is a bonus from the podcast. Um, yeah, and I will invite guests, whether it's about experts, language experts, or
I'm
language
excited
learners.
about it. I have a neuroplasticity class that I'm also taking. And so when I logged on today and saw that you're
Ooh,
doing neuro language igniter, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly how I'm going to learn this. I'm going to become more proficient with my neuroplasticity, beef that up a little bit, because there's certain things that we can do to help ignite learning something new, certain activities and certain brain exercises. And so as I'm trying to regain some of my memory back, there are mental exercises that I am disciplining myself to do daily so that it's easier for me to learn. As far as the French, I doubled down on it, and I may have someone else that is here in Houston that I could meet for coffee sometimes. That's going to help me brush up so that as I come back to do these with you, I'll be able to converse in French with you a little bit more so that it sticks a lot easier. And so
Mm.
I'm very excited in getting, getting more people in the community, get more people to come and check out your podcast so that these collaborative efforts are actually rolling into something else. I also wanted to get on your case about one thing you said at the beginning of this. You said, I am a people pleaser, and it is I was a people pleaser. That was 2024. In 2025, you have to be a little more selfish. You are not a people pleaser. You are a people person.
Yeah, yeah. From people pleaser to people person, and knowing to set up my boundaries and to bring more my what could you do in exchange vibes, because I was pouring too much for free these last
Mm-hmm.
three years, and now I gotta be
Mm-hmm.
more intentional.
That's why I made sure I left today. I can honestly say you've showed up for
Yeah.
so many of my lives and audios and rooms. Like I had my timer set. I told my students I have to leave at 11:45. I have something to do at 12 o'clock. And so any way that I could assist in the stream, and I'm not able to stream out from Restream since I don't have the upgrade, but I went live on my phone, and next time I may go live on both phones so that they can pull, because I more than likely um, I have to see, but more than likely I probably would do the StreamYard just because I have all this stuff with any going on, and we use it so frequently that I have to be careful which one I upgrade. Um, but if there's a way that I could, however I can share this, I will.
Yeah, and you know that my room is yours whenever you decide. I'm really happy also to welcome to be in the backside, like this, off camera, and then you show, and then you present yourself, and because it's about collaboration, co-elevation, and
Absolutely.
and
That's
because
that's the key to negotiation, right?
and because I connect also with your heart, because you are so authentic and so yourself. You are Coach K, and there is no two persons in this part. There is one person out there that is the same. So thank you again for joining. And um, you are still 3 minutes before you begin, so you are free to leave whenever you want. I don't want to glue yourself in my session.
Oh, you're
For
fine. You're fine.
Okay, because I want you to let you breathe and to finish digesting and to, yeah,
Oh,
to show on the
I'm not talking
classroom.
about it. Like, hey, Mama Nita. I'm happy that my Facebookers, it's not a lot, but they're coming on and they're able to see you, and I have your information pointed at the screen so that people, if they want to connect with you, they can get onto LinkedIn and try to find you. But this is my lunch break, and on Tuesdays, this is what I want to do for lunch. Is I want to be able to be here to learn and to support. That's what community building is all about. Plus, I have you down for my lunch break every Tuesday this for the next couple of weeks, and so
Wow. I will say in Japanese, arigato gozaimasu, and in French, merci beaucoup.
I can't wait to say that back.
And also, if you really mean it from the bottom of your heart, merci beaucoup du fond du cœur.
Miss Execubu, the for the car. I butchered
Voilà,
that.
voilà. Ben, c'est pas grave. Du fond du cœur.
D for
Du cœur.
the car.
Voilà.
D for the car.
Feliz Navidad from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
That's it. Before the cœur, from the bottom of my heart.
Yes. No, I
That's it.
love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I'm excited about this. That and I've just been going live more. At first,
Yes.
it was like afraid to go live, and then it's like, okay, it's not so bad once you finally do it. And so
Yes.
we have to go live as much as possible to get the messages out, um, and get the videos going. I turned my phone, the Wi-Fi connection or something happened the first time, so Facebook asked if I wanted to turn that piece of live into a wheel, and I'm like, okay, cool. And so we're gonna get these messages out. More people are gonna be speaking French, including myself, and this is gonna make me not afraid to go back to France. And so
Exactly, exactly. And so
I'm
for
gonna
the last,
I'm gonna learn enough to get around at least.
yeah, for the last bits, what are you envisioning for this Sunday for your session? Do you already know what you are going to
Uh,
present?
So honestly, I'm gonna for most of this month, I'm gonna be harping on the community that I want to build, because I some of my socials are gonna go back private. I'm used to being private. Once I hit a certain number of adult memberships in the virtual community, then I'm going to still do lives with everybody, but I'm really going to pour more of who I am into that personal community. And so this Sunday show is going to go into more details. Like right now, I'm just adding in affirmations. And when you get a chance, if you can go in and add some affirmations as well, you can
I have
also do.
something. I have something to present to you.
Okay.
These are the first pages of a calendar that I was buying on Holy Trinity, London.
Oh, nice.
And
I
so
was saying, let me
I
see it
have
again.
already, the seven first pages, and the
Mm-hmm.
number seven is this one.
Crowd and shout, though, come back just a little bit. Inhabit of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel on the midst of thee.
Yeah, it is Isaiah 12:6.
Nice.
And so
Add it.
each day I can unfold and have a new message.
Yeah, I have that on my dresser, and then I have a Jesus is Calling book, and then I have a calendar called You Are a Badass that I use as well. Um, I have a few places that I pull affirmations from, because you just never know what would resonate with someone. And so I do want to encourage the group members to add their affirmations or whatever is working for them. So when you get a moment, if you could add today's in there for me, because I want the group to be as interactive as possible, so that it's not just me pouring in. I want to drown the people that are in there in positive affirmations. And then I'll start dropping in tools like budgeting tools, um, maybe finding out what some people's goals are for 2025, and if there's ways or resources that we could pull to help them achieve those goals. So that's going to be a big deal. But for most of this month, getting the community off the ground is pretty much my biggest push for everything, because every adult membership purchase will unlock a child's membership. And so I'm just going to take local students. Like I said, most of the kiddos that I work with are first generations. Some of them are, I do have I have African American kids here in the community that could use someone to help them read and work on different things at the library. So, 2 Saturdays out of the month, I plan to take time to go and just spend time with students outside of school. And so it's important for me to get the adult memberships filled up so that I could afford to actually give back to the children without them
Mm,
having to pay anything. And so that's a bulk of what Sunday's room is going to be about, considering on the 22nd is when my networking room kicks off with any. I think it's the 22nd of Wednesday. Let's see. I should know this. Believe it is, because I have any, and then I have Leah Garcia coming up at the end of the month with Wealthy Wednesdays. And so
wow.
believe that's it. What else do you have coming?
Well, for me, I have a session in 1 hour, and I'm going to unfold more French. So feel free also to check the replay, because
Okay.
I don't know if people will join, but anyway, I'm going to make this session at least 1 hour to bring value, so that they have two sessions today instead of one usually. And then I have personal stuff to do, like decluttering. and going back to structure, making my link tree, organizing myself, creating my Go brunch room, so that I can really start 2025 with my 2025 mode.
So, quick question for you. Um, are these replays on your YouTube? And if
These
so,
replays,
what is your
yes,
YouTube?
yes, these are on YouTube and it's eternal. And what I like also on Restream is that you can repurpose the material. So I can, if you choose so, to have your video about what you are going to do this next Sunday, and then
Mhm.
you can use that for your own purpose. I'm going also to do that, repurpose materials like with Jay or with you, so that it's not thrown on the void. It could be reused.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I've been this morning. I'm being more active on TikTok. I think I did something on Instagram. I mean, I went live when we first came on. Uh, and I'm going to put some of this on Facebook. I'll also add to LinkedIn. And then I've been uploading videos to my YouTube. YouTube and TikTok are very big monetizers. And
Mm.
so you'll hear me speak about that a lot because there's ways to monetize on both of those. So if you are giving out free information, it could actually come back and pay you on the back end. And so maybe we'll talk about that a little bit on Sunday, but I want to try to save most of it for Thursday. But as I hear things, I want people to be able to take advantage of the different resources and tools we have available, to ensure we are getting the year off to a very strong start.
Super. So how do you feel right now? Ready to soar and to fly?
Yeah, as much as I'm going to today, I'm about to go. I have to go fly back into these fifth graders and fourth graders.
Yeah, so that you can say to them salut.
And au revoir.
Ouais, et au revoir après. Oui,
I have
exact.
two
Yeah.
classes left.
Wow. Well
Two
done. So
classes,
thank you
two
so much
two
for your
classes.
presence. You
Yeah.
are such an angel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And we'll meet again next Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll see you at lunch next Tuesday. I'll see you on Sunday on my show, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
I know. I know that one I got muchas de nada.
Ah, hasta la próxima.
Ali, stop showing off.
Ah, thank you.
You're so welcome. I will be in touch. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye now.
Wow. So thank you so much, Coach K, for joining.
You're
You can
welcome.
leave the room anytime
I'm
or
trying to
continue
figure out how to log
to
off of
watch.
both.
So I'm going to now create some French incentive, and
Okay.
you can watch it on the replay whenever you want, whenever you are ready. So in French, when you are welcoming someone, you say bienvenue, and it's from the verb venir, which is to come. And that's why welcome, bien, well is bien, and comme is venu. So bienvenue. That's when you are greeting someone. And you can also say merci d'être venu for greeting people that are there, to acknowledge the richness of their presence. And then you can say also bonjour, to say hello. Salut is when you are knowing the person very, very well. Or when you say goodbye, you can say also salut. But if you don't know the person very well, you can say au revoir. You can say also à bientôt, which is to good soon in literally. À bientôt. bien, bien, good. And then to is soon. which is see you very soon. À bientôt. And there are multiple ways to say au revoir, à bientôt. You can say also to the next time, à la prochaine fois. And that's another way to say goodbye, see you soon, au revoir. And else, when you say please, you can say s'il vous plaît when you address to multiple persons, or a polite version with one person. And when you know the person, you can say s'il te plaît, because vous, it's the you in plural or polite, and te, it's the pronoun related to tu, which is you in the singular. And of course, if you don't know the person, it's better to say s'il vous plaît, because it's polite. And if you know the person and it's familiar to you, then you can say s'il te plaît. And the reason I say that, it's because it's important also to activate the right brain, the right brain vibe. Because if you are addressing to the king and you are saying s'il te plaît, it could be not good for the protocol or for the status of the person. Aside that, um, s'il te plaît could be when you are asking someone, but when you are presenting with someone, like s'il vous plaît, when you are bringing something to someone, but also when you are saying, please, can you do this or do that, s'il vous plaît, pourriez-vous faire ceci ou faire cela. And then when you are saying thank you, of course, you can say merci, which is not really the mercy with an Y, which is pitié, mercy, but merci, it's the when you are thanking someone. And then if you are really willing to thank from the bottom of your heart, you can say merci beaucoup, thank you very much. Or what I said to Coach K, merci du fond du cœur. When you are really expressing that is really heartfelt, you say merci du fond du cœur, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And aside that, there are also other keywords in French that I can tell, like when you are saying excuse me, you can say also in a polite way, excusez-moi. And if you know the person, if it's familiar, then you can say excuse-moi, because excuse, it's for the singular person, the familiar, and excuser, it's the third form in plural when you are saying excuse me to multiple persons, but also when you are telling in the polite way, excusez-moi. And then aside that, you can say also, as you hear also in English, pardon me. You can say pardon or pardonnez-moi. And the same with the familiar way, you can say pardonne-moi. But I think it's better to say pardon or pardonnez-moi if you are begging pardon. And could be like you are in a hurry and you have to find your way, and pardon, 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 and to just say that you need to pass, but you excuse yourself. Aside that, there are many other things to say in French, but I'm going to pause for 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm going to be back because I need to drink something. Water is so important, and so water is in French is like oh, but it's really amazing because oh is high, but it could also be water, oh, but it's not the same spelling. High, o, it's H-O-H-A-U-T, but O water is E-A-U. So that's a bit tricky, I know, but the pronunciation is the same, not the spelling. So I'm going to drink some water and then be back.
Okay.
So I am back, and I might have another surprise guest. Of course, you are welcome to join the stage. There is a link in the comments. Let me reshare the link on my event, and I'm really blessed to have welcomed Firdaoussi and Coach K. And I have a part two in 45 minutes. It will be shorter than this one. This one will last probably 20, 30 minutes maximum because I need to be prepared for the second session. But at the same time, I'm really happy to welcome any comments whenever you want. Feel free also to join the stage for this part one or this part two. And I'm going to go on with my French nuggets. I don't see any comments on LinkedIn or YouTube, so I'm going to share again the link to the stage on LinkedIn, and on YouTube there are also the the shares, and I'm really blessed. I'm really blessed. Dun, 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 dun. So we are welcoming an amazing guest in few minutes. It might not be long. There is still 20, 30 minutes. And at the same time, what a blessing to welcome this amazing guest. So, because she is speaking Spanish, and I'm really also to really happy to introduce you some Spanish vibes. Ooh, and here it is. Margaret, thank you so much for joining. It will last till 20 minutes, so there is enough time for you to not to still be awake. And I'm really happy to see you here.
Hi, Ollie. I know I was dozing off. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But
okay.
I said I would do the jam a little bit later. So, but yes, go ahead. I'm ready. French everything. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let me first allow you to introduce yourself to my amazing network. Who is this amazing Margarita Martinez or Margaret?
Hi, my name is Margaret Martinez. I'm a proud mom, owner of Unforgettable You LLC, and I'm an event host. I do audio rooms and streaming on Go Brunch. And LinkedIn also supporter, and I do some posting on there. So happy about that, and happy with all of my LinkedIn connections as well. So, but that's what I've been focusing on, and apparently now I'm going to learn French. So I'm so excited and very grateful to you, Ollie, for doing this. Thank you so much.
Of course, muchas gracias. And I don't think that in 20 minutes I will be able to explore the whole shabam of French, but I'm really happy to answer any of your questions or any of your desire nuggets to learn. Because you will realize that French is similar to Spanish because there is a Latin and Italian vibes also. So um, and I'm really also happy to announce that 2025 will be the year where I will speak Spanish more and more because I would like to stretch my brain and to see if my brain is coping with living with Italian and Spanish at the same time. I'm really curious because Spanish and Italian could be like as a Spanish and Portuguese could be also confusing to have the both in my brain, but I'm really happy to do that. So, what would you like to learn in French?
Um, I already know. You taught me. You were teaching me the other day. Remember how to say my name?
Oh, Marguerite.
My name is.
Ah ouais, my name is. Je
Yes,
m'appelle.
the whole sentence.
Je m'appelle.
Je m'appelle
Voilà.
Marguerite.
Voilà. Je m'appelle Marguerite or Margaret.
Je m'appelle Marguerite or je m'appelle Margaret.
Voilà. That's if you choose Marguerite or Margaret or Margarita, so as you wish. But the main thing is je m'appelle, which is I call myself in English.
Je m'appelle. I call myself. Oh, I love it. I love it. Um,
That's it.
and also it's so is, and I love Italian too because it's very similar to Spanish also. You know, some of the words are very similar. Um,
Exactly. Exactly. Because, for
yeah.
instance, in Spanish it's me llamo,
Mm-hmm.
and
Me llamo.
and in Italian mi chiamo.
Mi chiamo.
Voilà, mi chiamo Margherita.
Me chiamo Margarita.
Sí, bien, bien, buen, buen.
A mí me gusta los acentos. I
Ah,
love the way it accentuates, like in French the way you roll your tongue, right? And
uh,
in Spanish the way you roll your tongue, and in Italiano, right? How you accentuate, you know. Mamma mia.
mamma mia! But in fact, there is a joke, and I think it's the same with Spanish people, but it's a joke for Italian people. If you wanna make any Italian speaker silent, you just tie their hands.
Oh yeah, you got jokes.
Because mamma mia, if you they are speaking with
You're
their hands
funny.
also. So it's like if you want to make them silent, you tie their hands so that they are impossible to speak because they need their hands to speak also.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You've
that's my
got
joke.
jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
for sure.
by instance, I learned Italian 17 years ago. So I can try to present myself in Italian if you like.
Okay.
So, mi chiamo Oli, abito in Bruxelles, ho 48 anni e, parlo francese, inglese, olandese e italiano, e un poquito,
Un
no, that's
petit.
Spanish, un poquito, un po' spagnolo, and due o tre parole tedesco. Tedesco is German. So it's really that's it in Italian.
So you said your name, you said where you lived, and you said all the languages you know how to speak.
That's it. Well done. You are speaking Italian.
Voila.
Amazing, fantastico, sei veramente brava.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Fantastico, it's fantastic. And then sei tanta brava. You are very brave.
Thank you. Grazie, grazie.
See. And my first immersion in Spanish was 14 years ago when I was discovering Madrid.
Spain.
Yeah, and
No,
especially
they speak proper Spanish.
well, I think there is no proper or full Spanish because, of course, in the origin it might be the first Spanish, but there are multiple Spanish. So who am I to say that UK is the proper English and US the not the proper English? I think the most important is to speak the language of your location, because in Canada there is French and English, and the French and English of Canada is not the French of France and the English of UK, because there are some variations. And by instance, in French, Canada, they are using also English terms, but they are feminizing the English terms. In France, we say mon business, which is masculine, and in Canada they say ma business, which is feminine, and that's a bit tricky to realize, but it is what it is. It is so I truly believe that the Spanish of Spain is not the most formal compared to the Spanish of Argentina, of Mexico, or Puerto Rico, or you understand it.
Yeah, and the reason that we say in Mexico that the Spain is proper is because of the wording, you know, the verbiage is different, and that's where most of our words came from. You know, where we changed it like vos to nos, the V to the N, vosotros, nosotros, and because it was for whatever reason. But yeah, I guess I'd have to agree with you only because a lot of times it's a certain accent, really, you know, that we teaching Spanish. That's the first thing I teach is actually how to roll R's. That's where I began at because you can't really just teach, you know, words, or you can't really teach letters. You can't really teach the alphabet, you know, without having the pronunciation. So the first thing I always focus on is pronunciation.
Mm,
Um, Very important, you know, has a lot to do with even when teaching English to local people here. Some of my friends, you know, teaching English and sitting down having conversations with them, and they want to learn. I have some neighbors, and we practice with pronunciation in English also,
mm,
because that's one thing that they focus on here is the how they sound when they speak it, right? Because in languages, when you're learning, and especially when you speak it, you know, cuando lo estás hablando, lo estás diciendo, you know, when you're saying it, when you're pronouncing it, it's like you feel a certain type of way, right?
mm.
Because you know you sound different. So I always like to teach where you don't have to worry about that. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's my focus.
and for me it's a bit tricky because I don't want to be impolite by doing too much the accent, because I remember in the 80s or 90s there was electro like Ramirez, and with the song like Terapia. It was amazing music, by the way. And like El Janinero, and this kind of crazy music from the 80s and 90s, or house or electro. And but I do realize that I don't want either to offend people. I can roll my accent like, hey, Margaret, but I don't want to be impolite by doing too much. It's like me speaking in African. I don't want to offend people and to think that to let them think that I'm joking on them. That's also my tricky. If I speak Spanish, I don't want, even if I'm not rolling the hair like them, I don't want to roll the hair too much because I don't want to offend them.
Hmm. You don't have to worry about that here. You're
No?
not going to offend anybody. No, I'm serious. I'm 100% serious about that. No,
Hmm.
if as a matter of fact, a lot of people admire the fact that people want to learn, you know, a different language or Spanish, and a lot of times they'll correct you, and that's a good thing too. Is when they correct your pronunciation. um Even me, like if you don't use it, you lose it, and so sometimes I can't pronounce a certain word correctly, and so I'll get corrected, and I'm like, oh, thank you, because you know it kind of like gets to them, like they want you to get it right, you know, they you know, we want you to be able to speak it properly, you know, and have that, you know, that verbiage and stuff. If anything, it's all in admiration.
Hmm.
Promise.
And so the good thing also, thanks to Go Brunch, you are now also teaching Spanish.
Yes, Go Brunch is brought loud because it's a virtual platform. You already know, right? we're able to create a lot of things, like a classroom. You're able to create any kind of space, virtual space that you can dream and imagine of.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
before Go Brunch, what tool did you use before knowing Go Brunch for your Spanish classes?
Um, well, actually, I did it local, so I did it in person. And then um, when COVID hit, we had to go to uploading YouTubes and stuff like that, and we had to, do it. I think the school used Zoom is what they did. So, yeah. So, but
Mm.
now I'm grateful. Now we have, a virtual platform, and it's pretty cool because you already know we have a background. We have like a lot of stuff. So it's really good.
Yeah, and what I like about Go Brunch also compared to Zoom is that Zoom, there is a kind of obligation to be camera on, and all these kind of people that says, oh, you gotta have your camera on and blah blah blah. But here in Go Brunch, there is no obligation. People can be camera off or camera on, and I do believe that it's
Mhm.
it's not making less engagement to be camera off. I think we can still engage without the camera.
Exactly. Okay, so teach me how to say in French, I'm grateful for Go Brunch.
Ah, there are multiple ways, but the most easiest way, je suis reconnaissant.
Huh?
So it starts with je suis, I am.
Je suis.
Voilà, je suis. And then reconnaissant.
Okay, wait. What?
So
Je
um,
suis.
je suis reconnaissant. That's I am
So,
reconnaissant,
reconnaissant.
grateful. Voilà, reconnaissant.
Reconnaissant. Je
But
suis reconnaissant.
voilà, in that case, as you are a woman, you say je suis reconnaissante.
Je suis reconnaissante.
Voilà, well done. But you can say also differently, like je suis satisfaite, but it's not really what you asked for. But you can say also je suis satisfaite, I'm satisfied.
Hmm. Moi, je suis reconnaissante. Go Brunch.
Hmm. You can say envers.
What? You
Uh,
asked me.
towards. It's like the equivalent in English literally is towards. So envers.
Envers.
Voilà.
Je suis reconnaissante. Oh, oh, I lost the last one.
So
Reconnaissante.
it's okay. So je suis reconnaissante envers Go Brunch.
Je suis reconnaissante. I cannot get the third one, the third thing. Okay.
Envers.
Envers.
Voilà.
Envers. Okay. Je suis reconnaissant. Oh, wait. Sonnet. Je suis reconnaissant. Say the second one again, Ali, please.
Je suis reconnaissante.
Reconnaissante.
Voilà.
Je suis, je, je suis reconnaissant. Of, of, au revoir. No, no, au revoir.
It's okay. It's okay. It will take time, but at least I honor your attempt. It's already amazing to say it in
Okay, do it
French.
again. I'm gonna get it right. Do it
Yes.
again.
So there are three parts. There is je suis,
Je
that you
suis
said well. Voilà. Reconnaissante,
reconnaissante
envers,
envers
Go
Go
Brunch.
Brunch.
Voilà.
Je
Excellent.
suis, Je suis reconnaissant envers Go Brunch.
Ouais! Well done! Ah, muchas gracias.
Merci beaucoup.
Voilà. Merci beaucoup. That's amazing.
Je suis reconnaissant envers. Oh my goodness. Okay. That was good. That means I'm grateful for Go Brunch.
That's it.
Now say it in Spanish.
uh, soy um, gratida.
So there's several ways
Uh,
you can say it too, you know.
soy gratida con Go Brunch.
Agrades,
Ah,
agradecido.
agradez.
Agradecido. Soy agradecido. Or you can say, agradezco or agradezco Go Brunch. Agradezco means I'm grateful for Go Brunch. 2 words. You can say it in 2 words. Agradezco Go Brunch.
Soy agradezco Go Brunch.
It's a little bit easier.
Yay!
Agradezco Go Brunch. Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
And in Italian, grazie Go Brunch. Just thank you Go
Um,
Brunch.
in fact, I don't know. I I mix between gradevole and sgradevole because I don't know, but I will say in Italian, sono pieno di gratitudine con Go Brunch. And that's a
Gratitude.
yeah, that's a tricky way to say I am full of gratitude. So sono pieno di gratitudine.
Ooh, yes, me too.
Yeah. And in Spanish is co, in Italian it's con.
Con.
Voilà. But yeah,
Languages are cool.
yeah, exactly. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Um, which level of Spanish do you teach for people? Basic, medium, expert?
Uh-huh. Basic. I do the basic, the most important one to start off with because I could do intermediate and then more advanced, but I like to do the basic. It's very rewarding because, teaching it to children, it was amazing. Amazing. So when you get to teach them and at the very end, um, my final test, saying all the alphabets, saying the numbers, the colors, everything, right? And being able to speak in sentences and stuff. Just the gratitude at the end because, a lot of times the mind is a very powerful thing, right? And when sometimes the kids think, oh, I can't never, because we're just focused when we're learning, when we want to learn a language or when we hear somebody else speak and they're very fluent, lo escuchas así y después piensas que no lo puedes hacer, ¿verdad? Porque están hablando así y es todo lo que escuchas, ¿verdad? So when you hear it like that, you're thinking, I can never do that, right? That's your first thought, right? Because it's like, you're so fluent and you can do it, and they're speaking it very, because if it's your mother tongue, you can speak, very quickly, right? Because you know what you're saying, you know how to say it. But when somebody else hears it, it's almost intimidating, right? So sometimes the kids would come in with the mindset of, I can't do it, I can't learn that. But the reality is we can all, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this too, we can all learn a language, right? We all have that ability. And so when the kids realize at the end that they did learn, and each and every one of them, so when I started, my class, it was like each and every one of you will end up by the end of this, will you will be able to roll your R's, you'll be able to speak Spanish, you'll be able to,
And you should have seen at the end, it was amazing. They were like, yes, oh my gosh. And just the gratitude and how proud they were of themselves, you know? So there's just something about teaching that basic, because, that the beginning is always the most difficult, right? To begin something, it's the most challenging, right? And that's what I like to do. So, but thank you for the question. I think I went all the way around on that one. I'm sorry, Holly. But
With
thank
joy,
you.
with joy, because it's about sparkling their eyes and telling them that in fact it's the engagement from them are most important than the curriculum, because if it's too big for them, at some point they are going to let go, to give up. And I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
keeping them engaged, even if we are saying, oh, we are not towards the curriculum, at least we don't leave anyone aside the road. I
That's
think it's
right.
also important to foster autonomy and to say to them, I'm here for a limited time, but you can meet each others and practice on your own and form groups, so that you are leveraging also your own presence when I'm not there to teach to you. And it fosters them autonomy, and also telling them the tools they can use to learn language, like YouTube or listening to the radio, or even for kids. So that's intrinsic and extrinsic learning. And also the using the best ways for them: visual, auditive, kinesthetic, social or individual. Like I was rolling my eyes 2 or 3 years ago, when I was learning there are more than 73 ways of learning. I was thinking four, five, six, but 73. Like, you can learn by with counting with your fingers, or with
Mm-hmm.
visualizing on space. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really amazing.
Yes. So let me ask you something. What is your most rewarding, um, the most rewarding, what is most rewarded when you teach a language?
Well, I was thinking about a specific time and date for 2 to 3 months. Um, First, let me tell you that it was like I was commenting on the LinkedIn post, and a woman came to me from Canada telling me that she need me, but not for her, but for her 4 years old daughter. And I was having the imposter syndrome, because I was doing it for adults but not for little children. And especially with a mom that was quite, let's say, wishing the best for her daughter, because her daughter was already natively speaking Urdu and English, and also Arabic. And she was learning also at the same time French and Mandarin and Spanish. She, 4 to 5 years old, learning already 4 to 5 languages. Whoa! And I was thinking to myself, how I'm going to do that? Or will she be able to learn French aside Mandarin and Spanish? And it was amazing. It was because I made it fun. And this experience was also amazing, because I was seeing her eyes sparkling, learning things, and her mom was really also satisfied, because she was so engaged. She was buying French books, and she was showing me the French book, because also in Canada, the French, the same. I was learning, by instance, tuque, Tuque. It's the way to say bonnet d'hiver in French, which is a winter hat. So it's another vocabulary, like they are also having in Canada. So and she had already French books, so she told me the curriculum, and she told me and I was just there to learn French with some specific words from Canada. So it's really amazing. It's to see people really emotional, because they are going into an adventure with learning a new language. So that's what keeps me alive. That see the sparkle in their eyes.
Amen. Yeah.
That is so true, right? This is teaching somebody, and when they engage and they learn and they're so happy and they're, yeah, I agree with you, the sparkle in their eyes.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. Um, and even when I was, in the medical business, and, to teach people, certain things and to train, my colleagues, I found it really rewarding because, it just, when you get to learn something, I think the kids are like the most um, amazing because kids, like, they pick up so many different languages so easily. And, it's because they have such an open mind and they're fearless, right? They don't ever worry about, I'm going to mess up or once they get started, forget it. They're gone. I love it.
I love it
Yeah.
too. And the question I
Yeah.
was asking myself is why in going to adolescenthood and adulthood we lost that. Probably because there were people wishing us to be perfect or wishing
Hmm.
us to be right. And I
Hmm.
think there is nothing wrong or right. We know about Englishes, Spanishes, Frenches, multiple ways. Arabicus, there are probably 6 to 12 or more different kinds of Arabics. So it's
Hmm.
like realizing that there is nothing wrong or right. The only thing wrong is to say that it's wrong, because of course we have to correct them, but it's the way that we use to correct them. Like we can say well done, and at the same time there is another way, a better way. And um, and not to say, oh, you are wrong, it's zero, the red, this kind of old school
Hmm.
notes. And
Hmm.
there is an anecdote with my French teacher. I was learning a poem by heart, and I will always remember the score and how he made me feel, because the score was 194, because I made 6 mistakes on the poem. It was not 14 over 20, it was not 4 over 10, it was 194 over 200. And that already is amazing in itself. And then the
Wow.
critical thinking, the appreciation. Metropolis, Brave New World, he was not only teaching French, he was also teaching us how to think. And that's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing, Grace. And you know what? Another thing that is amazing is, like, when we were on the jam, when we had the audio room on Go Brunch this morning, and you know how you were dancing, and I could just feel the vibe. Worknish was dancing. I was dancing. You guys heard me for a minute. I flipped on the camera and you guys saw me dancing. So, and the vibe is to dance, right? And to be childlike again, to do, you know, childlike things, because that is when you do become fearless and you have an open mind and um all the great things, right? You're more accepting, and
Yes,
and to forget about all of the negativity or all of the expectations or the boxes they made for us to fit in, and the setting the expectations so high that just forget all that and just relax, have fun, listen to music, and move. Because movement is very powerful, even for the mind. So, yeah,
mm.
yeah.
And let me tell you also, because normally I would have stayed off camera, but the reason I was staying on camera is when I was seeing Worknesh on camera. And then
Mhm.
because usually I would say, if anyone is off camera, I'm going to be off camera to be in the same vibe, in the same space, and
Mhm.
to not set anyone guilty to not be on camera. So it's also that there is no wrong and right. It's about what do we feel. And I totally respect and adore the fact that you are not showing on camera, because it's your choice, and because
Mhm.
all is welcome. All is
Yeah.
welcome. It's also the engagement. is not only to be on camera. The engagement is also to
Mhm.
bring the voice and to say that anyone is welcome, and if the person is staying silent, that's why I'm really also grateful
Mhm.
to connect with a person like you that is as human as me, even though I feel like you are even more human than me. It's because you are always acknowledging when there is someone that is not speaking, like how are you doing? And that I do that, but probably you are doing even more than me. And I'm you are an example for me to do that more, to say, okay, we are having people, human being, even off camera, even not interacting, they are present in the space with their energy, and that's the thing that matters the most.
Well, I'm grateful for you, Ali, because you don't give up on yourself. That right there is courage, and to be courageous enough um, to just continue doing and learning and being, because, in my space, in my rooms, you don't have to be anything or anybody, and just be yourself. Come as you are without any guilt or judgment or, feeling that you have to be or do anything to impress or, you know, even for yourself. You can just come as you are, as you were created, which you were created in greatness. We all were. And so if you feel like turning on the camera, turn on the camera. If you feel like leaving the camera off, leave the camera off. Like it doesn't matter. You just have to do what makes you happy and comfortable. And a lot of times people, try to make you feel uncomfortable, like guilt you into turning on a camera, or guilt you into doing this and that, and you shouldn't have to feel that way, like you said, and you should just be yourself, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Because really, when we're in a space, it has to be about you. Once you come 100% like you, I come 100% like me. Henry comes 100% like him. Richard comes 100% like him. Worknish, Adrian, everybody in the room, Marcia, we all come, lose 100%. That's what we're going to get in that room is 100%, all of us. And
Yeah,
how great is that? For real.
that's it. Exactly, and the fact that I can be at 100%, but resting also. So I'm giving my 100% by being present, because at some point I had also to say no. I'm not going into that session because I feel so tired that I cannot even be there. Really, I was like, and it's really not good if I can not even focus, and even not focus to listen. So at some point, I have
Mhm.
also to make the decision to say, okay, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna sleep, and I'm going to bypass this. So it's also to set up my boundaries and my body energy. And so for me, it's also to do my best. At some point, I was also um, did I do my best the last 3, 4, 5 years? Because there is always a little voice that says to me, "Oh, you could be already far if da 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 if da 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 da." So there is a bit like regret or judgment or blame or game on myself to not be as far as I would have been happy to be in my business, in my life. But at the same time, there is also a little voice that said you did the best you could at this given time, and it's okay. But there is also this kind of thing, oh, Oli, like be strong, be yeah. But at the same time, I need also to honor my energy that sometimes is low.
Yeah. Sometimes it's low and you need somebody to pick you up or just go through the motions and it's okay. It's funny because I was having this very conversation with my sis Christine earlier on the phone. I was saying, we were talking about how you kind of remember, like you were saying, you started talking about 5 or 6 years ago, right? We kind of do that to ourselves, right? The would have, should have, could have, if, and if I would have made a better choice, and I think what I came up with was for myself is you can do those things to keep yourself humble and grounded and grateful. But what really matters is right now, presently, what you're doing right now. And you are 100% always good. 100%, 100%, giving 100%. That's what I see. And when you can't give 100%, it's okay. Just be there. Listen to the music, listen to the jam. Just be present, be there. And if you can't be there and you don't want to be present, then don't be there, and have the confidence that you have the people that understand that. That's another thing too that I always talk about, with my friends is that I'll say, because sometimes they need their space. They give me my space and we're fine. We don't always have to be SC on each other. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
a true person will understand and give you the respect of your space so that you can regroup, breathe, respirar. Like you were telling me, what were you saying? Respiración.
mm. Yeah, respiration.
How do you say it in French?
The act is also respiration, but the verb is respirer.
Respire.
Voilà.
En español es respira.
Mm.
Respire, respira.
Ah, so you don't say respirar, you say respirar.
Respira. Respira or
Okay.
respirar? It depends
So
on what context you're saying in the
the
a
infinitive verb, respirer is the infinitive.
respire,
Voilà.
respira.
Mm.
Respira, él respira, ella respira.
Mhm. So je respire, I breath.
I breath. Is that what you said? I breath. Yo respiro.
Ouais, je respire, tu respires, il respire.
Yo respiro.
Je respire, ben,
Yo
je respire.
respiro. Mhm.
Voilà. Je respire, tu respires, il respire. The E is silent.
You respiro. Oh, it's almost like Spanish because I was saying it in Spanish. Yo
Mm.
respiro. Yo respiro. You
Mm.
res, you,
Voilà. Je.
je,
Bien joué.
je respiro.
Voilà.
Je. So French has a different kind of sound. And that's the thing, right, with sound. The
Mhm.
je, mademoiselle. No, mademoiselle. Say it. Say mademoiselle.
Je.
No, mademoiselle.
Je respire.
Je respiro.
But
Je.
without the O, je respire.
Mhm. Oh, okay. Okay. Je respiro.
Voilà.
And en español es yo respiro.
Mm. So I have technically a second session that starts right now. So I don't know if you like still a few minutes or if you are going to leave.
You're going to have a second session right now.
Yeah, because it's planned at right now. Because
Okay.
I was setting up at 7 p.m. my time and 9 p.m. my time, and it's right now 9 p.m.
Okay. Of course it is, Ollie. Of course
Yeah,
it did.
but feel free to. I will give you the link for the second session, and you are free to leave me after even 5 or 10 minutes if you want.
Okay. Who else is anybody else coming on?
I don't know, but I maybe there are people that are willing to be present on the second session, so I'm going to
Okay, I'll
do it.
stay on if somebody
Yeah.
else comes on.